Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. Soph is back. It feels so weird. I'm here on my own, but yeah, massive game today for United. I thought I have to preview this one, and we should be going into this game feeling fairly confident. I know it's not always easy to be confident as a United fan because it depends what mood we turn up in, but I've got to say I'm feeling quietly confident today. Quietly being the key word in that one, but I thought I'd do Richard's Ramble. It's been a long time. I want to interact with you guys in the chat and try and get through as many questions as I can, as many of your points as I can as well. But I'm really looking forward to this game. I hate it when we play on Sundays because I feel like we're having to wait that extra day. Saturday just doesn't feel the same when United aren't playing for me. But I'm buzzing that we're playing. I'm buzzing that we're the first game as well. And hopefully we can start with a win. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. I want to say hello to Megan. Meg, I hope you're doing well. EAA says United against Southampton was the first time I watched Hasenhüttl's team seriously. Such an aggressive and coherent press. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say this is not going to be an easy game, but I think it's safe to say any league game this season is not going to be an easy game because we don't know what United team is going to turn up. We genuinely don't know how we're going to turn up. Madesa is saying it's going to be an easy game, 3 points in the bag. I hope that you are spot on with that one. I hope it is going to be easy. I'm the same as you, Ebbs. I hope Van der Beek starts. I really do because I thought he just ruled the game the other day. I thought he controlled the tempo of the play in midfield. He was always looking to pass forwards, and I hope we see more of him, definitely. And to be honest, in terms of the lineup, I'm hoping that we go with a similar lineup to what we went with in midweek. That's the most balanced I think I've seen us playing. I know that sometimes we may need to be more defensive, but I just feel against Southampton today, if we rock up with the same lineup, it could be really interesting. Wan-Bissaka obviously went off midweek, but there's rumours that he's back in. He trained. He's not 100%, but I think he will start. And I hope he does. Luke Shaw obviously is still out, so it means Tellers is going to play, and I'm all for that. Tellers, I'm liking what I see of him. I want to see more of him. Stephen agrees with me. Says same team as midweek. It's got to be. Surely it has to be. Surely it has to be. United Way. Johnny's in the chat. He says, "Morning, Sophie. Hope you're well. Do you think it's going to be the same team as last time?" I really hope it is. I really hope it is. I was thinking if McTominay was fit, which he isn't, I was thinking maybe he'll come back in and he'll go Fred and McTominay as the base two again with Bruno ahead of him to play it safe. Personally, do I want to see that? No, I want to. In my opinion, attack is the best form of defense. The way we played midweek, I thought was the best I've seen us play for a long time. Don't don't fix it if it's not broken. Don't try and change it. There's no need to. For me, I would stick with the same team. That's what I want to see. Marcio says, am I the only one who thinks Fred is proper dodgy? No, you're not. I'll be honest, you're not. I think on the ball, Fred makes me nervous sometimes. Distribution isn't the best. But what I like about Fred is if he gives the ball away, I guarantee you he's one of the first ones getting that ball back. His work rate in there, his tenacity, that energy that he brings to the middle. But I do agree, I think on the ball, do I fully trust him? No, I do not. I do think he gives it away quite a lot. It does take too many touches at times. I think if he keeps it to 1-2 touches in that holding role, which is what you need from a CDM, keep the game ticking, I think we'll get the best out of Fred. But in terms of his tenacity and defensively in there, Fred has to start. It has to start. Just go at Southampton and attack them, says Ines. Yeah, I agree. Attack is the best form of defence. We know that at the back we are not safe. We know we're not secure. If we rely on us sitting back and defending well as a team, we could be in trouble. Southampton, to be fair, no Ings, yes, but they've started well this season. Hasenhüttl's doing a good job with them. I think Redmond is out and Ings is obviously out, and Ings is a big loss, definitely. But I'll be honest, Che Adams will be feeling confident. He'll be thinking he could probably get a goal today against the likes of Maguire. Like I say, we're not exactly sturdy at the back, are we? So Southampton will fancy themselves, and we already know what it's like. Whenever United are in town, it's like a cup final. We know what happens. And yeah, I'm not saying we're going to roll them over. I'm not saying we're going to turn them over, but I do feel that we will win today. I feel like we should have taken a lot of confidence from that midweek game, But I'm just hoping that we don't make too many changes. I really do. I hope Donny starts. Me too. I really do. I don't. You know what? For me, how can Ollie drop him after how we played in the week? I thought he was superb. Gary Sage, anything can happen. Hope we don't go too defensive. Let's go for them for the off. Yeah, I think if we start this game quickly, we've seen what happens when we start quickly. When we put the opposition on the back foot immediately, we know going forwards we're very talented. We know we've got so much pace, so much venom going forwards. It's just about us starting quickly. When we don't start quickly, I feel like we're immediately on the back foot and we kind of go within ourselves. I think the start today is really, really important. Good point here from Stephen as well. Dead balls, obviously Ward-Prowse is an expert. We can't be conceding stupid fouls in and around the box because Ward-Prowse will definitely punish us. There's no doubt about it. So yeah, we need to be careful making those challenges in and around the box. Fred needs to be careful in and around the box. Can't commit too many fouls because Ward-Prowse will punish us. He's proven already this season. He scored 2 free kicks in one game not long ago. He's definitely capable of doing it. Twisty's actually asking what my starting 11 is. I'll give you that shortly. But what I'm hoping for, to be honest, is the same starting lineup as the other day. I'm hoping that there's a change from the Istanbul game, Greenwood in for Martial. I do hope we see Greenwood today. But if I'm honest, in terms of the front three, I'm hoping that we go for Martial at left, Cavani in the middle, Rashford on the right. I like the look of that the other day. I want to see more of that. I thought Martial, and I said this the other day as well, I think Martial playing in the central role, there's a lot of pressure on him to get goals. As a centre forward, people are looking at you to get goals. He hasn't been getting goals this season and he's been struggling a little bit. And that little move out to the left-hand side, for me, he looks a bit more comfortable. I'm not saying that he can't play centrally because he can, but I think at the moment there's a lot of pressure on him to get goals. Moved him out wide on the left, there's less of an expectation there. He gets on the ball a bit more, and for me, he's more effective when he's running at players, Martial. We know what he can do on that left-hand side. He's cutting on his right. We've seen so many goals where he whips it into the far corner, and that's what I want to see from Martial. So I'm hoping that he starts on the left again today and Cavani up central. Cavani is always moving. I love that about him. Watch Cavani, constantly trying to spin off in behind or he'll come feet. He varies it a lot, and I love that about him. And we know he's a goal scorer. We know he's a poacher. And hopefully we see that today. Thank you, BSG, for the super chat. Southampton's intense pressing game could suit us if we can bypass it with one quick touch football. Van der Beek has to start. This is a game made for him. Completely agree with that. I think when we're playing it from the back, we've seen, but simply we can't do it. We struggle to do that because we're too slow at moving the ball. We're too slow at moving the ball. So I think with Van der Beek in there, getting the ball, getting on the half turn, always looking to pass the ball forwards. You are right. If we can bypass that press, we know for a fact we can get in behind. We can punish them. We know for a fact going forwards, especially with the front three I've just mentioned, we can affect everything. Madejs, I want to see Greenwood again. And you know what, Greenwood, I want him to come on. I want to start with the same front three. Would I be disappointed if Greenwood starts? Of course. I love Mason Greenwood. But I want him to come on. I thought when he came on the other day, he looks hungry. Obviously set up Dan James for the goal as well, which was fantastic to see that. But Greenwood coming on, I think he adds a different dimension. So I think I would rather see Greenwood come on in this game. But like I say, I wouldn't be disappointed if he did start. Hi to Diz. Diz, I hope you're very well. I'm trying to get through as many comments as I can. Any questions, guys, pop them in there. I will get through them. We have PSG fight for one place, Champions League. Yep, Champions League. To be fair, we're doing well in the Champions League. A lot of people were thinking that we were going to get absolutely steamrolled. They were calling it the group from hell. And we've put a lot of people in the place, to be honest with you. But yeah, definitely big games coming up. Do we have to have one eye on the Champions League game in midweek? Of course we do, which is, for me, how I would always approach that. If I was Ollie, if I was the manager, I would start with my strongest 11, try and get the game done and dusted as soon as possible, and then bring some of the key players off. I don't think you can risk playing a weakened team because, like I've mentioned, there's no easy game in the Premier League this season. There's no easy team that you're going to come against. Whenever United are in town, it's a cup final. So for me, I would start with my strongest 11 and then bring them off, try and get a few goals early, and then bring them off a bit later on to rest them up. But definitely we should be keeping an eye on that. Of course we should. Van der Beek must start. Surely he's got to start. I will be disappointed if Van der Beek doesn't start today. I really will be disappointed. Like Doug says, guys, please smash the like button, subscribe if you're new as well. I just want to apologise for lack of content this week. Obviously, we haven't done a Ladies in Red because Emma's moving. She's moving back to Weymouth, so she's been a bit tied up with that. Meg's been a bit busy as well. And obviously, I've been working, but we will be back next week. I'll also hopefully be providing more content next week as well, maybe in the daytime. So keep an eye out for that. But I just want to send my apologies for that. But we're back today. We're back today on game day. That's what matters, isn't it? Do you think Ollie is good enough? Ollie out. I've always said, you know what, for long term, Ollie has to prove himself. But I said for now, for me, he is the guy. I think we're on the right path. We're heading in the right direction. I think the players needed to take a lot of criticism as well. However, I understand the criticism towards Ollie. Am I saying I'm Ollie out right now? No. I do not agree with the reactionary if we lose Ollie out, if we win Ollie in kind of fans. I don't think it can be based on that. It is a project. He's took a big job on Solskjær. We're sitting 15th in the league when a lot of people were raging. But this league has been so random so far. We saw Liverpool again dropping teams yesterday. Dropping points yesterday against teams like Brighton. I just think it's a really interesting season. Like I say, right now for me, Ollie is the guy. Long term, I think he's yet to prove himself. Tactically, we've mentioned that he needs to prove himself a bit more. But I'm not sitting here saying I'm Ollie out. I've never said I'm Ollie out. I'm definitely not that. I never want a manager to be sacked. But I do accept that there needs to be improvements. Alex, thank you so much for that super chat. He says, do you think Cavani can start 2 games in a row? I do think Cavani can start 2 games in a row. You saw him the other day, like he drops really deep. It can be frustrating, but he drops deep because he wants to get the ball. He's got that tenacity, that work rate. We've seen it before with several players. For example, Tevez was a bit like that, where he grafts, he wants to get the ball back. He's fighting for every ball. He's constantly trying to press. I love that about him, and I'm sure Cavani will be buzzing to start as well in the Premier League. And like I say, with Martial and Rashford out wide of him, you have to fancy Cavani to get on the end of one of the crosses maybe. He is a poacher. He is a goal scorer. He's a handful. He's always on the move. And even more so, I think the likes of Martial, the likes of Rashford should be learning from him as well. We see too many players constantly showing feet, which is why we struggle to break teams down. We've got nobody winning, spinning behind. Cavani offers that little bit different. He's not the fastest, and I accept that, but he's clever. He's always on the shoulder. He's always either spinning in feet or he's spinning in behind. He never does the same movement. We've become too predictable, too generic, and I think Cavani offers us that bit different. He doesn't always get the ball, but he's constantly making their defenders think, constantly looking behind them, seeing where he's gone. So yeah, I want to see Martial on the left. I want to see Rashford on the right, and I want to see Cavani down the middle. Neil saying, how is Nicole? I miss her here on Ladies in Red. Nicole will be back. She will be back. She's having a bit of time out at the moment, focusing on family and some personal stuff, but she will be back definitely. She's doing well. I've spoken to her every now and again, and she's doing well. So I will pass on, Neil, your concern, and I'll pass on that you have asked about it, but I promise you she's good. Looking forward to Christmas, I imagine, like all of us are. But guys, I agree with Alex here. Positive vibes is what we need. I completely agree with that. We need to be positive, especially after the mid-game performance. I thought was the best performance I've seen in a long time. The only thing I would say about it, and we tend to always do it as United, we take our foot off the gas, and you want to see us just carrying on and getting lots of goals. I mean, it's understandable why we do it, but that's the only criticism I'd had the day, that we took our foot off the gas a little bit. Obviously, that the scoreline flattered us a little bit. We could have easily conceded in that game. And that's what I'm saying. Our defence is not secure. We can't rely on that. Attack is our best form of defence, definitely. We've got goals in our team, but we've also got goals that we can concede as well. And I don't want to be seeing that. Twisted, I said, would you buy an extra present for a pet? I buy Luna presents every single year. I get her a toy, a little stocking, and some shoes, some little treats. So yeah, why not? Why not? This is an interesting one from Medaisy. It says, sell Pogba if he makes one more mistake. Pogba, looking like he ain't going to be breaking into the lineup anytime soon. Obviously, was it a swollen ankle he had recently? I've said it from the off with Paul Pogba. In terms of his footballing ability, in terms of his talent, we know how good he is. We know his potential. Have we seen that enough in a United shirt? Definitely not. Definitely not. And there is the argument that, yes, he's had fairly weak players in and around him and he can't do it all on himself. Yeah, I appreciate that. But also, what I do not like is the circus that comes with him. There's constant rumours about him leaving, constant comments that are being made by himself that can be read in certain ways. I just don't like the circus that comes with him. If Paul Pogba focuses on his football, shows us what he can do on the pitch, I hold my hands up and I say, you know what, he's a world-class player. But for me, he's more of a hindrance at the moment. He's more of a problem than a player, and that's not where it should be. Do I want Paul Pogba to leave? No, I want him to turn it round and I want us to get the best out of him. Can I see Paul Pogba leaving? Yes, I can, because he ain't going to be satisfied with not making the starting 11. And you have to be honest and say, does he deserve to be in that starting 11 at the moment? No, he doesn't. Van der Beek should definitely be starting ahead of him. So I can see him leaving definitely. Do I want him to? No. But I understand if he does go, and I understand if we let him go as well. Because like I say, he hasn't been consistent enough. He hasn't been good enough. He hasn't. I always say you can probably count on two hands the amount of class or the amount of good games that Pogba has had for us. And I know that might seem harsh, but for a player of his ability, he hasn't taken the reins. He hasn't got the game by the scruff of the neck. Yes, you could argue he's been played in the wrong system. You could argue that we don't play to his strengths. But that's another reason why maybe we need to look at a possibility of him leaving, because if he doesn't fit into our system, then like I say, it's not fair on Paul Pogba for his own personal career as well. He's a World Cup winner. Like I say, we know how good he can be, but he ain't doing it in a United shirt for whatever reason. So Paul Pogba's an interesting one. I can see him going. I really can. Based on how we played midweek, Pogba does not get into our first choice 11. Alex, for me, he's nowhere near that starting 11 at the moment. Nowhere near. If Ollie wants to go defensive today, you'd probably say Van der Beek may come out of that 11, and obviously McTominay in there, so Matic goes in alongside Fred. I do not want to see that. I want to see Van der Beek starting again. I want to see the same starting 11 that we saw the other day. That's the most balanced I feel that we have looked. We looked so fluid going forwards. We didn't look fearless. We didn't pass sideways. Van der Beek constantly looking up, constantly looking to play forwards, even simple passes forwards into Bruno's feet, and it just turned the game. And I think that's what we've been lacking. We've been playing too many safe sideways passes, far too slow. Van der Beek, 1-2 touch. Sometimes one touch flicks around the corner. Always aware. We've always said he's a tidy player, but I thought in that role he played the other day, he showed what an intelligent player is. His vision, his ability to scan before the ball's even got to him and know what's around him. I trust him in that position on the ball, and I hope we get to see that again. BSG, thank you again for the super chat. It says, Tellers has been so good. Loving the creativity he brings from that left back position. His crossing and passing is mint. Yeah. To be honest with you, with Tellers, how nice does it feel to actually have a left-hand side for once on the pitch? With Martial ahead of him as well, offers us something on that left-hand side, and I think it's nice. Like I say, it's the most balanced I've seen us look for a long time. And I cannot wait to see the first Cavani goal from a Telles cross. So that's bound to happen soon, hopefully today. But Telles, yeah, he's got the ball. Always looking forward. It's a bit like I said with Van der Beek, but he's always looking to get the ball and whip it into the box. I mean, know how good his delivery can be. He needs to work on those volleys from the corners, little routines we were practicing. Obviously, blasting into the stands quite a few times. But other than that, no, I think Telles is a positive player. Looking forward to seeing more of him. And Luke Shaw, obviously, still isn't back to fitness, but he's going to have to work to get back into the starting 11. But that's what you want as a manager. You want competition for places. That'll push both Telles and Shaw to the next level, surely. Can you see your family over Xmas holiday? I'm currently in tier 3. We'll see what happens, but I'm still currently in tier 3 at the moment, so it'll be interesting. Let us know where you're watching from, guys, in the chat as well. Let's see where people are watching from, because I like to see whereabouts you are. And also let me know if you're in lockdown as well. If you're in tier 3, what tiers are you in? Someone thinks it's funny to say women just don't know football. Good one. Unique, original joke. Hope you feel proud. Hope that's made your Sunday morning saying that. United Way says, why are you sacking a manager, guys, over a season? That's not normal. COVID has affected a lot. Like I said, John, I agree with both sides of the argument. I'm not sitting on the fence, but I think there's elements of both. I think Ollie, so the performances you've seen, the fact we were so low down in the league, yes, he needs criticism. I get that. But isn't it all about how you bounce back from that? And to be honest with you, we have bounced back from that. And hopefully today we continue that as well. They always say Ollie seems to pull out a result when he needs it the most. And he does, which is so frustrating for the Ollie outers because he does. But surely he needs some credit for that as well. And people don't seem to see that. But yeah, for me, I'm not on the fence, but I'm not Ollie out, like I say. I'm not Ollie out, I'm Ollie in. But I understand the criticism. But for me, you support your team regardless of who's manager. You support your manager. You want the team to do well. And it felt, especially when we were sitting down in 15th, it felt like certain fans were expecting us and hoping us to lose so that we could get rid of the manager. And for me, that ain't a fan. That's not right. You shouldn't be hoping your team lose. You shouldn't be wishing someone to lose the job. Surely you hope that they turn it around. And that's always been my mindset. I hope that Ollie turns it around because he needed to turn it around. Twisted, which United players would your dad have at Wolves? I have actually asked my dad this question before, and he said probably Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, he's Portuguese as well, so he'd fit in perfectly to Wolves. Yeah, so he said Rashford, Bruno Fernandes. I don't know if he said anyone else actually. I think that were the 2 players that he said he would have. I would have Jimenez and Neves. That were my 2 choices from Wolves. Thank you, Callum, for the super chat. He says, hopefully we stick with Martial to get him scoring. Exactly. I think he needs a bit of confidence. But like I say, moving him out to the left, that little move, for me, it takes a bit of pressure off his shoulders as well because there's not too many people expecting him to score as much. He gets a bit more of the ball running at players, which is what he does best, in my opinion. And I'm hoping Martial will find a bit of confidence from playing on that left-hand side. That's what I want to see. And I'm not saying he can't play centre-forward because he can, but I just feel like at the moment there's a lot of pressure on him to get goals. Obviously, he hasn't been scoring. So hopefully, a change of position, which does still suit him, will suit him even more so in terms of his confidence as well. A lot of people saying Van der Beek should start. I agree, he should start. Big up to Mo. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Los Angeles Red Army, love that. The most stupid channel to say that women don't know anything about football. Soph talks nothing but sense. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Some people just like to attention seek, and I gave him the attention. I put it on the screen, so hopefully it feels better now. That's all I'm saying. Big up to Cogs Vlogs. Go and subscribe to his channel. Some great content there. Go and check him out, definitely. I hope you're doing well. East Devon, love that. Let us know where you're watching from, guys. If Ollie gets Jack Grealish, oh, hi, Ollie. Jack Grealish, for me, it's hard to argue. He's one of the best players in England right now. He's not the best player in England. He's in great form. No 2 ways about it. He's in great form. Can he keep that up consistently? It'd be interesting to see what happens with him. But I would love Grealish at United. I really would. But the question is, like, we have to, with Van der Beek, where does he fit in? We don't want players who aren't going to fit in. We don't want players just to fill gaps. We don't want, what they say, square pegs in round holes. We don't want to do that. We want to get players for the right positions. We don't want to sign for the sake of it. They need to fit our plan. Like we mentioned with Pogba, it doesn't fit the plan at the moment. The worst thing we could do is add more players that don't fit the plan, in my opinion. So Grealish, I would love him, but we need a plan. Where is he going to play? Hi, Soph, love the content. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Canterbury. Soph is the same as me, tier 3, West Midlands. It's pretty rubbish, definitely. 153 watching, guys. Well, 156 now. Please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. And if you are new, please hit the sub button as well, because I think I'm about 14.2k. I want to get to 15k before Christmas. That'd be fantastic. So please hit the sub button, guys. Mo, thank you for that. He says, hi, Sophie. Love the show. Van der Beek and Bruno has to start every single week. Hopefully they start today. Well, I'm going to start at today's game, and hopefully we keep the same lineup because I thought they played really well the other day. Bruno, as always, instrumental. That goal, by the way, I haven't really spoken about it, but that goal, his first goal, was superb the other day. When he hit on a half volley, caught it sweetly, drifting away from the keeper. What a goal that is. And a lot of people say he only scores pens. Bruno Fernandes, I think he just shut a lot of people up with that. The technique was sublime. And Callum says, unpopular opinion, but Greenwood was selfish against Istanbul. I didn't like it. He could have set Cavani up many times. Hopefully he'll learn. Callum, thank you for the super chat firstly, but I'm glad you pointed that out because I literally said the same thing. I was sat at home watching it, and I said the same thing. You have to kind of understand Greenwood's point of view. He's come on as a sub. He's going to want to make an influence. He's going to want to score a goal. Of course he is. He's young. He's hungry, and I like that. I wouldn't want to take that away from him. But at the same time, I agree. There was definitely chances where he could have squared it to Cavani. So Cavani was a bit gutted, a bit annoyed sometimes. But he's a striker, and like I said, I wouldn't want to take that away from him. And to be fair, he did set Dan James at the end, so maybe he learnt from his own mistake a little bit there. Could have easily took it on his own. He squared it for Dan James. I'm sure the players around him, especially Cavani, would have been in his ear and telling him as well. But I do agree he was a bit selfish. But like I say, I wouldn't want to take that away from him because he's a goal scorer. He's hungry. He's a goal scorer. And I love the fact that Dan James got a goal as well. A lot of people getting on his back. A lot of people giving him stick. And yes, he hasn't been playing too well. I agree. He's been a bit too one-dimensional. And this goal doesn't transform everything. This goal doesn't say, oh, he's a world-class player now. I'm not saying that. But for his confidence, it'll do the lad wonders because he scored an absolute belter for Wales as well. Comes on and scores that. Hopefully we get a more confident Dan James now. And maybe, like I say, him and Greenwood, I would expect them to come off the bench today just to give us a different dimension, like in midweek. Cavani to start, leave Lazy and Martial on the bench. I'd start Martial out left, as I've already mentioned. I think Martial out on the left. Bruno is probably the only player capable of scoring a half volley penalties outside the box. Exactly, Marcus. Shutting his haters up, definitely. So thoughts on today's team. So in terms of today, I'm expecting De Gea in goal. Well, it's pointless to be saying anything. I'm expecting the same lineup as what happened midweek. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see exactly the same. If Ollie's feeling a bit insecure and he wants to go a bit more defensive, maybe Van der Beek will come out and Matic will start alongside Fred with Bruno in front of him. I don't want to see that. No, of course not. For me, Van der Beek has to start. If he doesn't start, I'll be majorly disappointed. But as I always say, I'll back the manager, I'll support the team. But we should be taking confidence from that. Our most balanced performance, in my opinion, in midweek. We should be taking confidence from that now. Red Ninja, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, Sophie. Who's your favourite player in our current squad? And today's score prediction. My favourite player is no other than Marcus Rashford. Love Marcus Rashford. Not just for on the pitch. Obviously, what he's done off the pitch as well has been fantastic. But I just love him. Did he play that well midweek? No. I'm expecting a bit more from him today, to be honest with you. But Marcus Rashford is my favourite player in the current squad. And then closely behind that is the one that everyone probably's got on their lips, Bruno Fernandes. I think he's class. I don't agree with how certain people can criticise a player who's come into the club and transformed us as much as he's done. I can't remember last time we had a signing like Bruno and transformed us. And that seems to go under the radar. It's almost like I mentioned before, a lot of fans seem to want us to lose just so Ollie can get sacked. And for me, that isn't a true fan. You don't wish your team to lose. You don't wish a manager to get sacked. You hope that they turn it round. Surely that should always be the mindset. You hope they turn it round, not hope that they're failing, they have to go. And it's the same with Rashford. Rashford hasn't been playing that well lately. And he's my favourite player, but I'm not biased towards it. I've got no agendas. And if Rashford's playing crap, I'll say Rashford is playing crap. He hasn't been playing well lately. I still think he'll start today, and I'm hoping that we get a bit more from him. I'm hoping that we see a bit more confidence from Rashford, a bit more running at players. That's what I want from Rashford today. But am I going to sit here and be under the illusion that he's been playing well? No, of course I'm not. But he needs to improve that. And that's always my mindset. And some people just want people to fail so they get dropped or so they get sacked. That should not be the mindset, in my opinion. Callum, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I would never wish injury on anyone, but if any of the front line was to get injured, it was a good chance for Greenwood to try and get back in being class. I completely agree. Mason Greenwood at the moment, he's on the bench quite a lot. But like I say, for him, his mindset, all he can do is when he gets on the pitch, he can just take his chances. That's all Mason Greenwood is in control of his own performances right now. And for me, yeah, he was a bit selfish midweek, but like I say, he got the assist for Dan James. Thought he looked good when he came on. Offered us something a bit different. I feel like we needed a bit more pace, a bit more flair on the pitch. It kind of went a bit flat, didn't it? And Greenwood and James came on, and I felt like it lifted it again. All he can do is take the chances when he gets on the pitch. Greenwood, we all know his ability. We all know he's a great finisher. But he needs to take his chances, and that's all he can do at the moment. But yeah, I'm like you. I don't want anyone to get injured. Of course not. And I'm sure Mason Greenwood will get a run of games. Maybe he'll start in the cup, who knows? But he's good enough. He will get a run of games. But at the moment, all he can do is influence it when it comes on. That's what Ollie would expect from him, players to come on and influence the game, like Greenwood did in midweek. VSG, thank you for that super chat. Did you watch Ahmed Diallo's cameo against Hellas Verona yesterday? He looks very good. Excited to see how he progresses at United. I'm going to be real here. I haven't seen any of him. I've not watched any of him. And to be fair, I was going to watch bits, but I thought I'm going to save it till he's actually at United. I'm hearing a lot. I'm hearing he's very talented. I'm hearing he's very skillful, a very exciting prospect. And I cannot wait to see him in a United shirt, and I'm excited for that one. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm not going to sing a song, but I like it. Shaw or Tellez. You know what? Luke Shaw gets a lot of unwarranted stick, in my opinion. But I've always said we lack going forwards on the left-hand side. It felt like we didn't have any balance. We had nothing on that left-hand side. Tellez, for me, is a solution to that. Tellez, when he gets the ball, like I say, he's always looking forwards, looking to whip that ball in. He's got great delivery. Luke Shaw, in my opinion, his best position is when we play three centre-backs and he plays as a left centre-back. I think that suits him better than playing at left-back. And whether that's because there's less onus on him to have to beat a man or to drive forwards, it seems to suit him better. So as a left-back, I would have to say it'd have to be Tellez. But like I say, Luke Shaw, for me, a left centre-back role seems to suit him a lot better. Let's try and get through some of the questions. Ronnie's asked if I'm finished on United Stand. I'm not finished on United Stand. The agreement is that whenever United Stand want me, I'm always available. So I'm not finished on the United Stand by any means. Still have good relationships with Mark, with Flex. Spoke a few times to Beth as well. Obviously, I still work with Ricky as well. So absolutely nothing between me and the United Stand. I'm still here. I'm still waiting. Whenever they want me, I'm there. But yeah, I'm still very much a part of that, and I have not left. A lot of people seem to feel I've left. I've not left at all, so don't worry about that. Neil says never want Manchester United to lose, of course, but you'll be surprised, Neil. Certain people do want United to lose, and that's what I don't like about it. I hate the fact that people wish us to lose just so the manager gets sacked, and I'm not a fan of that. I'll try and get through some of these super chats. I can't wait to be back at Old Trafford. Someone's just said. Me too. You know what? When they're announcing these tier things, I mean, I knew obviously we wouldn't be able to go back at Old Trafford. I knew that Manchester's going to be in tier 3. I think that was always going to happen, wasn't it? But I can't get my head around how can you have 15 people at a wedding, yet 4,000 people can go to a sporting event? Nothing makes sense to me. Nothing at all makes sense to me. But I'm like you. I cannot wait to get back to Old Trafford. I cannot wait to get back and watch some live football. I'm missing it. I am madly missing it. It feels like so long, doesn't it? I mean, it has been long, but it feels like it's been literally years since I've been at Old Trafford. It's a horrible feeling. I can't wait to get back, and it's going to be horrible seeing other teams be able to have fans in as well. And obviously, you can't. It's a bit upsetting. But Twisted says I'm very upbeat this morning. I'm always upbeat, Twisted. I'm always upbeat. Always trying to be positive. Alex, at some point, yes, hopefully that will happen. Thoughts on today's defensive struggle as always. Like I mentioned earlier, there's no Danny Ings, which is a bonus for us. But Che Adams, I think he started the season fairly confidently, scored a few goals. He's a quick, physical striker. He'll be looking at Lindelof and Maguire today, thinking that he's got a chance, no doubt about it. And like I've already mentioned, it's like a cup final for anyone playing us. He'll definitely be feeling there's something in this game, which is why, like I say, we need to start quickly, get a few goals, try and hush the game up early, so we can bring some of the key players off ready for midweek. If we rely defensively, if we got a 1-0, for example, and we decide to sit back and try and hold on to that, we could be in trouble. I do not trust us defensively at all. Thank you for the super chat. It says Maguire and Tuanzebe or Lindelof and Tuanzebe. Maguire and Tuanzebe look shaky against Istanbul. I think it's safe to say that Ollie will go with Maguire and Lindelof. That's his preferred partnership. Do I trust that partnership? No, I do not. I thought Maguire, to be fair, looked pretty poor the other night, and no one really spoke about that. Like I say, Istanbul could have easily scored 2 or 3, maybe even more than that the other night. The luck was very much on our side. But if we attack, there's plenty of goals in this for us as well. If you're looking at like the Vestergaard, who play for Southampton, Cavani, Martial, Rashford, they're not going to be one of facing that front three. Even if Greenwood comes into that, they're not going to be one of facing those type of players. Fernandes, Van der Beek, there's so much attacking flair on the pitch. Like I say, we should score some early goals. It's all about how we stance. And we've already I've said this plenty of times, the mentality is an issue at United. Mentality is an issue, and when the pressure is on, we seem to bottle it. Today, we're going into this game as favourites, and it's about how can we handle that pressure then. You've seen again in the big games, it's almost like we're going to it not as an underdog, But where's an expectation we could lose and we seem to turn up. And when we're playing against the lesser teams and the onus is on us, we struggle. So I'm hoping today that mentally we turn up. If we turn up today, we beat Southampton, no two ways about it. We can never predict what United is going to turn up, and that's always the frustrating thing, isn't it? But I'm hoping that we take confidence from the game midweek. I'm hoping that we can bounce on and kick on from that because, like I say, going forwards, we are so exciting to watch with the little 1-2s, the little passages of play in and around the box that the likes of Van der Beek and Bruno can implement. I'm excited to see that, but I'm just hoping that we stick to the same lineup. I'm hoping that we stick to that. Do you think Fred and Van der Beek will start together? I want them to. I've already mentioned it. I've got a niggling feeling Ollie might think, I want to go defensive and put Matic in that midfield. I don't want to see that. I'm hoping that we stick to the same. We go positive. If it was me and I was Ollie, I would start with the same team and hopefully be able to withdraw a few key players afterwards with the idea, obviously, of the Champions League. Soph on the right wing, make it centre back, and we win in the league. Love that, comrade. I don't know about my pace on the wing. I don't know if I'll be very effective, to be honest with you. Cavani's the striker with Martial on the left forward, Greenwood and Rashford from the bench. Need to buy a left centre back, CDM and a right-sided winger, but sadly probably won't. There's definitely areas where we still need to strengthen, of course. Torstein, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Oh, Neil's asked if I could sign one player in January. Who would I sign? That's a good question. That's a very, very good question. Get in the chat, guys. If you could sign one player in January, who would you sign? I'm guessing a lot of people will be like, Sancho. For me, I'll be looking more of a centre-back. Maybe someone like Upamecano. I'm not saying we are going to do that, and that's realistic, but that's a player I would love to see at United in the future, definitely. I hope he picks that team and beat Turkish side, attack. I hope that too. David agrees, start the same team as on Tuesday. Let's see what happens next window as our board only talks. I completely agree. And a lot of people saying, oh, Ollie was back to got Van der Beek, but who knows, was Van der Beek actually an Ollie signing? I've mentioned where does he fit in, was he an Ollie signing? The other day, Van der Beek was superb. I'm just hoping we play him in that role again today, trust him in that role because he's such a talented little player. His awareness, his ability to just scan and play the little 1-2 passes, always looking to pass forward, that's something we've been lacking in the middle. George Kylie's in the chat. Hi, George. I hope you're good. Tellers has been exceptional this season. He has. He offers us something different. And like I say, surely it's only a matter of time before we see a goal from Cavani from a Tellers cross. That's what I'm hoping for. Hopefully that happens today because it's bound to happen, surely. Haaland is that. Somebody said, hopefully we sign Haaland. 18-year-old midfielder from Rennes or Upamecano. Upamecano would be great. CDM, Alaba would be the best as he's versatile. Alaba, what a player. What a player he is. Can I see him ended up at United? No, but what a player. Hello from Thailand. Love that. Hope you're good. Guys, get in the chat then and let me know what your score predictions are for today and I'll give you mine very shortly. I'm just going to catch up with any questions that I've missed. In as much as our defence is shaky, I think we should attack Southampton hard and play them off the park with Van der Beek, Matic, Fred in midfield. I think we can do it. Yeah, I agree. I think Fred will start. I don't think Matic will start over Fred, but I think there is a case where obviously we could have a Matic and Fred base of the midfield, which would be a defensive mindset. I hope we don't go in with that. I hope we go more attacking. Callum Turner, thank you for the super chats. KG is one of the funniest guys, man. He always makes me laugh in a good way. And the show with Flex literally makes me laugh so much, even when we lose. KG is a good guy. He's a funny guy, definitely. Flex and KG show are really good as well. But yeah, he definitely has got that. I love the little sound effects he's got in his videos now with little Mark Goldbridge voice. Makes me laugh. 3-1 prediction there. Another 3-1. I like the positivity. I like it. Sophie, what is your favourite shirt? To me, Sharp shirts. My favourite shirts of all time. It's a tough one. You know what I love? The blue AIG shirt we had. I think that was nice, to be fair. I don't know what my favourite 99 shirt obviously was class. It's hard. I don't know what my favourite one is, but I used to love the blue kits we had. Are you still a teacher? I am still a teacher, yes. Unfortunately, I'm having to isolate at the moment. So, yeah, there's a positive case in the school. Hence, I said hopefully there'll be more content coming out next week. It's been a bit of a mad week this week, definitely, but I'm all good. I'm fine. Ward press is dangerous. Already mentioned that. Definitely set pieces. We need to be careful with those challenges. 3-0 to United. 4-2. 2-0. A lot of positives. I'm loving it. A lot of positives. Playing away as well. A lot of people would associate with negatives. For us, we know that home form hasn't been the best. However, we slowly seem to be turning it around. So hopefully today, playing away, we get confidence from that. I'm going to say my prediction. I think we'll concede. I don't trust us at the back. I think we'll concede. I'm gonna have to. You know what? The people who said 3-1, I'm going to agree with that prediction. I'm going to say a 3-1. It's like Rachel's there, 3-1 win to United. Yeah, I think we'll win today. I think we'll concede, but I think we'll win. Like I say, going forwards, I think we've got plenty of goals, and I'm expecting that today. I'm expecting us to look dangerous, but for that 3-1, we need to start quickly, definitely. Neil said, "Who do I have on the back of my shirt?" So the two shirts I've got behind me, I've got Rashford and I've got Cavani. But the one I've got on at the moment, I've got Martial on the back of it. So I've got Martial on the back of this one. Hopefully Martial gets a goal today. But yeah, Cavani there behind me and Rashford are wearing, these three are here for a reason, because as I mentioned, I'm hoping that's our front three today. That's what I'm hoping for. So beside, someone just said, so beside United, what other team do I like? Enjoying the show, Sophie. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I do appreciate that. You know what? My favourite place to go on holiday is Orlando, Florida. So I'll be honest, I am a bit of an Orlando. I'm not a fan, but I like to keep track. I've got the shirt and stuff as well. Obviously, Nanny's now playing out there. But yeah, I like to keep tabs on Orlando in the MLS, see how they're doing. That's a team that I like purely because that's just somewhere where I just love going. It's one of my favourite places. I went to watch them when I went out there a few years ago as well. But MLS is just mad. The fans are just mad. It's just so different. The experience is surreal, but I love it. We'll wipe the floor with them 6-0 to United. Hope you're right. A 10-0 prediction there. If you get that spot on, I won the lottery numbers from you for this week. Honestly, that would be class. Alex Marmon, £5. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Do you think that Wolves can beat Arsenal? Yes, I do. To be fair, Wolves this season, Nuno's been changing them, hasn't he? He's been trying to play them in a different way. He's been trying to change their system. They're a bit one-dimensional last year. He's trying to change that up a bit. They've lost Jota. And I was on about this. Jota, for me, was a player I banged on about on my channel last year, saying how much of a good player he was. How is it that Liverpool are the only team who seem to be interested in signing him? I do not know. It's beyond me. And look how he's going. He's just unplayable at the moment. He scored again yesterday for Liverpool. But yeah, Wolves haven't been playing that well, but you definitely feel that Arsenal, they could be there for the taking. I think that might be a draw, that game. My prediction is going to be a draw in that one. But of course they can beat them, definitely. Callum, thank you for that. He says, I rate Che Adams a lot. I watched him at Birmingham. Yeah, and like I say, he started, considering Ings in there's been a lot of onus on him to get the goals. But to be honest with you, he started this season fairly well, hasn't he? So, yeah, he'll definitely feel there's something in this game for him today, 100%. 8-1 to United, Rashford or Nani. I like it. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. But Rashford is my guy. Rashford is the player that I love. My favourite player at the moment, definitely. Where do you buy your kits off, Matthew? If you drop me a message on social media, I'll let you know where I get any of my shirts from. What happened to Sheffield United this season? You know what I was saying? Sheffield United looks to me like they're going to be going down this season. They obviously didn't invest too much. They got players like Brewster, didn't they? But for me, Brewster he wasn't a cut-out player, wasn't he? He wasn't an established player. They haven't really invested. The kind of, I don't know, they're lacking confidence as well, which doesn't help. But for me, at the moment, Burnley, Sheffield and Fulham look like the three who could go down. Let me know in the chat, guys, who you think's going to get relegated. But for me, they're the three that I can see going down at the moment. Got a few random questions going in there. I like this. I like the randomness. Favourite flavour crisps? You know what? I'm not a major crisp fan. Like, I'm more chocolate than crisps. I always say that. But if I tend to have a flavour of crisps, you can't beat good old salt and vinegar for me. Cannot beat good old salt and vinegar. Some smoky bacon crisps as well are quite nice. I don't know my favourite flavour. I'm not a very crispy fan. I know people are probably offended by in the chat now, but I don't eat many crisps. Genuinely do not. I'm more of a chocolate fan. Hence why I always do chocolate comparisons on this channel. Why do we always turn to food on this channel? I don't get it. So what are your thoughts on a CR7 return? I would love Ronaldo back at United. I would. Can I see it happening? No. But there's a lot of rumours. Obviously, Paul Pogba back to Juventus. Ronaldo coming the opposite way. In the chat, guys, let me know. Would you take that deal? If we lose Paul Pogba to Juventus, but obviously it means Ronaldo's coming the other way. I would take that. I genuinely would take that. Quality Street or celebrations for me. You know what? Quality Street are rubbish this year. I brought some the other day and I tried some and they're disgusting. I don't know if they're cutting down or whatever it is, but they're not as good as they used to be. Roses are above them, in my opinion. Talk about all the Christmas chocolates. You guys are making me hungry. I'm from Orlando, Florida, Orange County, precisely. I love that. Honestly, that's one. Obviously, after lockdown, that's one thing I've said I want to do. I want to go back to Orlando. It's my favourite place. I just love Florida so much. Universal Studios, amazing. I like Pringles, says Gaz. I know somebody who eats Pringles. Not, people eat them long ways. They turn them sideways and they eat them like that. I know somebody who does that. How weird is that? But Pringles are good. Monster Munch are good. I like all the three main flavours: salt and vinegar, ready salted, and cheese and onion. I cannot believe you just said cheese and onion, George. That's offensive to me. That's offensive. I hate the smell of cheese and onion crisps. It makes me go, ugh, I hate it. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Aston says, "What do you think of us, Villa?" Villa again started this season well. Really have started well this season. I got West Ham, I believe, this weekend. I think it's going to be a tough test. Grealish has been class, but what I'm loving about Aston Villa at the moment, I'll tell you one of the most enjoyable teams to watch purely for the fact that I love the Grealish and the Barkley link up. You can see they love playing with each other. Barkley is a player I've always felt was underrated. I think he's a very good player, and I'm hoping that him and Grealish to get the best out of each other. But so far, yeah, they're really entertaining to watch. You can tell they love playing with each other. Exciting times for Villa fans right now, I'd say. Alex says my favourite other sport. I don't mind watching international rugby. So, for example, when England are playing, I don't mind watching rugby, Six Nations, stuff like that. Also, any big boxing fights. I'm a big boxing fan as well. I'm just a sporty person, to be honest with you. I like watching all sports. Just flawless to tune in when I'm talking about Pringles. I told you, flawless, it always ends up with food. I thought it was Meg who brought that to the chat, but it must be me. I don't know. I'm a food magnet. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, we always tend to talk about food. I've seen lots of people listing crisps in the chat. It's making me laugh. Can't top Doritos. Cheesy Doritos, surely, for the win on that one. Gaz is starving. This chat isn't going to help you. Then he'd be starving, Gaz. Terry chocolate orange or Toblerone? Ooh, that's white Toblerone. Can I add a white Toblerone on that? Because a white Toblerone for me is banging. But Toblerone is good. Either way, I'll choose Toblerone. Yeah, as soon as Barkley went off injured last week, it was back to pass it to Grealish to do all the work. Exactly. I think Grealish had someone to bounce off, and that helped him. And like I say, entertaining to watch as well. Hopefully, Barkley isn't out for too long because I think that could affect Villa in a negative way. But yeah, as you've said, I must do another Life in Soph video. I did do that a while ago, didn't I, when I was at work and stuff. Definitely, I'll keep that in mind. I'm up for doing another one of them. It's enjoyable. Flawless says it's clearly me. It must be me. Ever been to the Caribbean? No, I haven't, and I would love to go to the Caribbean. To be honest, I'd just love to go on holiday at the moment. I feel being in lockdown. I'm not the only one going through this, I'm sure of it, but it's just obviously I feel like it's Groundhog Day doing the same things every day. Yeah, it's just frustrating. So cannot wait to get on holiday and do something a bit different. Are you a mild or hot curry girl? I'll be honest, I'm an absolute wimp when it comes to spice. Honestly, yeah. I've had kormas in the past and felt it was spicy. No, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. I'd say a Balti is probably about the maximum spice I'd go for, so like medium. But I'm not good with extremely spicy stuff. I've got better lately though. I will say I have improved. But yeah, I'm not into mega spice. Don't like Toblerone. I don't know why. There's a lot of random stuff going on here. I love it. Your favourite Spanish team? See, I used to love Ronaldo, so of course I would have gone Real Madrid because Ronaldo was there. But I hate Real Madrid and the fans. I just don't like how the fans treat the club. They're so spoiled. I don't know. I don't know who my favourite Spanish team is, to be honest with you. That's a tough question. I genuinely don't know. You'd have to say to entertainment, you'd go with Barcelona, Real Madrid. Atletico, you'd probably put up there as well. I don't really have a favourite Spanish team, genuinely. Upamecano, Haaland, Sancho, choose one for United. For me, it'd be Upamecano. I've said it all along, the whole Sancho talk. When I'm sick, the S word I used to call it because it's like swearing. I was sick of hearing it so much. Haaland, I don't think will come to United. Upamecano, I think could feasibly happen. We need a centre back. Yeah, so I'm going to say Upamecano is my choice out of those three, and I think we could do with a decent centre back as well. Favourite takeaway? Oh, favourite takeaway. I like Chinese, to be fair. I think you get a lot for your money if you have Chinese takeaway. I'm going to say Chinese on that one. Talking boxing, who you got, AJ versus Fury? You know what? I always used to say I'm a massive AJ fan. I love AJ. Tyson Fury, I didn't really used to like him too much, but then obviously I saw his story and I've interacted with him, not interactive, I've never spoke to him, of course, but like I've watched him a bit more on social media and stuff, and I obviously did like videos through lockdown with his wife and stuff like that, and I thought, you know what, I really like this guy, and I actually have become a low-key fan of Tyson Fury, so I'm going to say Fury on that one. But either way, it's going to be an interesting fight, definitely. But yeah, before lockdown and stuff like that, I was always a big AJ fan, and now I'd probably say I'm swaying more towards Fury. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to that, definitely. There's some other comments coming in. Sophie, have you got FIFA 21? I have. I've got PS5 as well. I'm hoping, if you watch my last FIFA streams, you know that my Elgato, I think I played it so much, my Elgato decided to just basically blow up. I don't know what happened, but it stopped working. So I need a new Elgato, or I need to find another way of streaming. But I do want to do some PS5 FIFA 21 career mode streams again, because I really enjoyed doing that. Being on lockdown as well, it's a perfect time for me to get back into that 100%. Comments on hairdryer treatments are always the best. Always very random, definitely. I mean, we started off all serious talking about the football, and we've ended up talking about Balti or Toblerone or what? Yeah, random stuff. Do I like cricket? You know what? I'm not a massive cricket fan, purely for the fact that, I'll be honest, I don't really understand what's going on. But Ben Stokes is a player that lately who's got me a bit more involved in cricket. Obviously, watching Ben Stokes just carry the team was just immense, and yeah, so I respect cricket. Then every now and again, I'll like for that, for example, for the Test match, I'll tune in, but I won't sit there and actively watch it, because, like I said, I don't understand what's going on. I'll be real, I don't understand what's going on. Gaz says blow up. I think it did. I don't know. It just decided to give up on me, and I don't know why. So that's why my streams locally stopped. But Alex Marmon got to support Tyson Fury. He's a great personality. He's overcome a lot of challenges, and of course, he's a United fan. Of course, the fact he's a United fan made me like him a bit more as well. But yeah, I don't know. Lately, I just tended to go more in the favour of Fury. My score prediction, and I'm going to say 3-1 United win. In terms of the goal scorers, I'm going to say I think Cavani's going to get one. I'm hoping Martial gets one, and I'm going to say the usual Bruno Fernandes as well. Probably a penalty. I'm joking. Hopefully another half volley from outside the box just to shut a few people up. But yeah, I'm going to go with 3-1 win. Most people in chat were going with positive wins as well. I absolutely love that. Soph on the PS5, you need to play people from here. You know what? That's what I was planning on doing before my Elgato broke, and that's something I still want to do. I want to play against some of my subscribers, interact with you guys, give you a few games. I played against Flex. I'm trying to think who else I played against. I played against a few people, but I want to play against some of my subscribers, so hopefully we can do that soon as well. But guys, all that's left to say is please enjoy the game today. Fingers crossed we get that win. Fingers crossed we get a positive performance as well. We start quickly, see plenty of goals. That's what I want. I want to say a big thank you to everyone in the chat. I really appreciate it. I love the random conversations we have as well. I'll tell you what, I'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm going to say that now. I'm going to be back live tomorrow at 11 o'clock. You look like you'd be a good synchronised swimmer. Typhoon or Twinings. You know what? I'm a bit of a Yorkshire tea girl. I'll be honest, a Yorkshire tea girl. I love a good Yorkshire tea. I'm a big tea drinker, to be fair. I love a cup of tea. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, guys. We'll do a little recap of this game. Meg wants to be back on at some point as well. Maybe that'll be tomorrow. People asking for a watch along. I'll be doing a watch along at some point in the future, definitely. But I'm doing a watch along for the women's game against Aston Villa, hopefully as well. And we might be getting Natalie from the Barmy Army one for at least one of those watch alongs. But more content coming, guys. Apologies for lack of content this week, but I promise you there'll be back coming in the future. Starting tomorrow, 11 o'clock, I will be back. I will confirm on Twitter later on. But yeah, guys, enjoy the game. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday, rest of your weekend. And I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Hit the sub button, please, if you are new. I appreciate it. Drop a like on the video as well. And if I haven't missed you in the chat because of all the randomness that's going on, I apologise. Just drop a comment afterwards and I'll respond to you all there. Take care, guys. Have a good one.